I lived at the Playboy Mansion for 5 years.
Wow.
And I didn't realize it until now I'm in real estate, like where I was living. I'm like,
Yes, it was just the norm at that time, I assume.
I literally started real estate with a camera on. It was so hard. It is still hard, but I'm better now. It felt like for a second, real estate was like eating me alive.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God. How do you say it? My eyes were bigger than my stomach. Like I thought I was like a billionaire overnight.
What's going on, everybody? James Harris, and we are back with a brand new episode of Rise Above the Ranks, presented by Estate Media. You may notice that my counterpart, Mr. David Parnes, and partner in crime, had a last-minute showing and was not able to make it today. Today, I have a very, very special guest. I am extremely excited. We have the one and only Kendra Wilkinson, former reality TV star turned real estate expert. You may recognize Kendra from past shows like The Girls Next Door, Kendra on Top, or more recently, and very relevant to our conversation today, Kendra Sells Hollywood. Kendra is also the author of several books. She's a mother of two and has been in the public with her struggles with depression and mental health and other challenges that she has faced along the way. A truly remarkable person. I'm extremely excited to have her on the podcast today. Thank you for joining us. It's lovely to see you.
It's so good to be here.
It's great to have you.
You should be in real estate.
I should. I'm trying. I am trying. I don't know if I'm doing it.
The way you sold me. Oh my God.
But you're awesome. And
it's amazing.
For those that don't know, Kendra and I met each other over Instagram when you first got in the industry.
Yes.
And we exchanged a few messages. We ended up having lunch, and it was a lovely lunch.
It was amazing. I did feel like we were in the middle of like a housewife drama situation.
Yes, and Carl Richards was actually in the other end of the restaurant. I remember.
It was really exciting.
It was, and you were like, you blew my mind because you've come from a world that people have seen on TV, which we'll get into later, and then you took that leap bold of jumping into real estate as a single mother of two children, and this is not an easy real estate market to conquer, and I could tell this wasn't something you wanted to do for a week or a month. I could tell you were sort of all in when we had that lunch.
Yes.
And I was super impressed, so I want to know how's it going and sort of where you're at right now.
Thank you so much.
Of course.
That lunch was more meaningful than you probably realize. Like it was right off the bat, right when I passed the real estate exam, and I had no idea where I was going with things. We didn't even have a show yet.
Yep.
And I was like, what am I gonna do? And then we connected over Instagram, and I'm like, oh my God, this James is so nice. You just offered to talk real estate. And I'm like, yes, let's go to the Polo Lounge and talk real estate.
That's what we did.
So we did that, and while we were at lunch, I get a call while we were at lunch.
Yeah, I remember.
You have the green light for a new show on real estate. I'm like, oh my God, James, you want to do the show? He's like, you're like, I already have a show. I'm like, oh, okay. Well.
And that show has been on the air for how many seasons?
We had 2 seasons.
Amazing. Did you enjoy that?
Yes, it was very stressful, but...
Which part of it? Because you're familiar with being on TV, you're familiar with reality and cameras. Which part of that was stressful?
It was fun to do it overall, but to actually put a live deal on camera was so stressful.
And it's strange, right? I did it.
Oh my God, it was so, but overall it was a great time. 2 seasons. I hope to, continue the journey on TV, but I had to actually learn real estate off a camera first.
Yes, and how's that going? Because on camera versus off camera is very different, right?
Yes, very.
I think people watch these reality shows and they see a deal get negotiated over a 90-second coffee and they think, I'll get into real estate and make a couple $100,000. But in reality, it's a lot more difficult than that. So how has it been transitioning to real estate off camera? How's that really been for you?
Well, I literally started real estate with a camera on. And I never really had, at that point in time, I didn't really have the time to really, put my mindset into real estate while I was entertaining, because that is a job, to entertain and to keep the cameras, keep everyone happy.
Yeah, it's a lot of people to keep happy.
Ooh, it's a lot of people. And then I had to make sure that my seller was happy on camera and all this stuff. But yeah, I mean, it was a lot of pressure at the moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, a lot of people watched the shows and they were like, I'm getting into real estate. I'm getting into real estate. Thousands of people were inspired by my story and joined real estate.
Yeah.
And, it is a lot different nowadays now that I'm off camera.
Yeah.
A million times different.
Yeah, of course. And I think people forget, not only do you have to make your clients happy, not only do you have to make the people behind the camera happy, then you have to go home and be a mum. Yes. And you're a mum to 2 children.
Yes.
And are you a single mum? I don't know.
I'm a single mom. I'm solo. That's just a dog.
That's, by the way, the dog's a very important part of that. But it's not easy being a single mum. I don't know what that's like, but it's not easy being a dad to 2 children, even when you're married. So how do you juggle everything?
Well, first of all, I put my mental health first, my kids first, and of course, real estate. So how do you put all those 3 things first?
Yeah, it's very difficult.
It's very difficult, but I have an amazing co-parent. Like, he is just phenomenal. Awesome. And I'm so proud of having that in my life, and support from, friends. So, it's been a lot to manage, but it's doable.
Yeah.
Through support and friends and stuff like that.
That's awesome. I'm super happy that you're managing to juggle everything with a big smile. And then I know for a minute, and I could be wrong, for a minute you posted something on Instagram that said you were out of real estate. But what happened now? I know you're fully back in real estate and you're killing the game. But what happened? Did it just at one point all become too much and too stressful?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I mean, you tell me it gets that stressful. It gets that stressful.
It definitely does.
It felt like for a second, real estate was like eating me alive.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, how do I, it felt like I was in a relationship. It's like a marriage, I feel like.
Yep.
It feels like a marriage.
Yep.
I felt like it was suffocating me.
Yep.
And I just needed to create the space for a second and create healthy boundary. And I didn't mean to come across like I was quitting, but I just needed to
take a step back.
Yeah. Get a dog.
Yep. Because that's not stressful. A puppy. It's the most stressful thing on the planet.
Oh no.
That's more stressful than clients. No? I mean, I had a puppy. I took this thing out freaking 12 times a night from 2 a.m. to 9 a.m.
Okay, you got me. It's pretty stressful. but
it was a good change of mindset for you when you were going through something.
Yeah, it's getting me up she's getting me up in the morning. She's getting me to walk in the morning, not fixate so much and enjoy some moments more,
that. I love that.
But it came on a day, which it's so funny. The story is, I quit real estate for a second. I didn't quit, but I took a step back. But then I had clients.
Yep.
I was in a deal, and I was 3 days away from closing a deal, and I'm like, they're like, oh, we have our final walkthrough. I'm like, yeah. So I'm not quitting. I love my clients.
Yeah.
I love my clients so much that I just drove right to the final walkthrough. I was so proud to walk through it with them and give them the keys and everything. That's when I knew my relationship with real estate was real. I was so happy that moment.
It's a very satisfying feeling.
Yeah. So that same moment, I walk out of the building and I see a dog, and I'm like, I start bawling in front of my clients.
Yeah, it happens.
I want a dog. Yeah. I want a dog. And they were hugging me, my clients, and I'm like, that's it. I drove right to the shelter and I rescued a dog.
Amazing. And your kids are obviously in love with the dog, or is this really your dog?
More my dog.
It's your dog. Okay, good. So now I've got to move over because obviously you've been through a lot, you've seen a lot, and I want to talk about all of that. But we touched on mental health. How are you now balancing protecting your mental health, your self-care, now that you're fully back in real estate? Because there's a lot of people that go through what you go through, right?
Yes.
This is a very stressful
Yes.
business. We effectively write our own paycheck. Some people go 6 months without a deal, but the bills don't stop for 6 months and the stress continues to build up. So
Yeah.
what are you doing to make sure that you're not losing focus on you as a woman? What are you doing?
That's a really, really good question. And, I was at one point before losing myself, I was fixating so much on how, making cold calls and going around meeting people and networking. I was draining myself. I was just draining myself. I forgot about me. And so that moment where I just said, okay, I need to take a step back. Not only did I get a dog, I was like, okay, what do I need to do? What is it? I surrender. Now I pushed real estate to a place right now. What can I do to better myself? How can I get stronger mentally and physically and whatever? So it's not going to be a man. I'm not dating in LA, I don't think, anytime soon.
Say you never know.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
It just depends. Maybe today something happens. Who knows?
Exactly. But that's the right way to look at it. Maybe today, maybe tomorrow.
Maybe
not. Who knows?
Maybe. But so I hadn't been working out at all. I'm like, what am I doing? I'm like, I've never been this way before. I've never not worked out. So I got a trainer. I started working out again.
So important.
Yeah, I started walking the dog every morning.
Yep.
So I started creating different habits.
Yeah, a healthier lifestyle.
Healthier lifestyle. I started to cook more. Now that I have the time to not fixate, I'm like, what can I do? Okay, I can cook. Why not cook? And it doesn't take long. So I'm a single mom, so I'm not going to, make a full-on feast and I have to do my own dishes. Who's going to? But I learned how to make quick, easy meals. I learned how to do 40-minute workouts every day. Get up early in the morning. Just enjoy the moment. Enjoy a cup of coffee. Enjoy
you.
Me.
Yeah. That's fantastic. So you figured that really focusing on taking care of yourself, working out, having the routine of walking the dog, being with your children and just focusing on you versus cold calling and door knocking and expireds and just focusing a little bit more on you and not fixating on the job as much as
and not
you
only
started
that,
out doing.
I feel like I had to get not just that part back, the physical and the health, but also my relationships with my friends.
Yes.
I went down this hole of fixating on what one of my friends is going to sell soon.
Yes. Yes.
And it took me down this hole too. And I'm like, you know what? I shouldn't be thinking like this. I need to reset my mind. I love my friends so much. I just want to have a real healthy, solid relationship with my
I think
friends.
that's similar to looking for a relationship. When you're desperately looking for a relationship, nothing comes. When you kind of step back and just let it be, it comes. I feel like it's a little similar in real estate. The more desperate you are to meet people at your kid's school or church or synagogue or wherever, your friends, and you're like, I want them to sell, nothing comes. And when you're a bit cooler about it, and you put the right energy out, it does start to come.
Yes.
It really does.
And when the moment I started just to breathe again and get this routine, this healthy routine back, I get a call. There's something I've been praying for so long, getting my name into Beverly Hills.
Excellent.
And I had no idea this day was coming, but someone I had approached a while ago ends up calling me, hey, we're ready to work with you.
I love that. And what was that deal?
It's on Alpine, in the flats.
Amazing location.
So, so today, we're seeing if it's getting leased out.
That's rock and roll.
Yeah.
I love to hear that. So now shifting gears, and again, I'm curious, and I do want to talk about the Playboy mansion because I think that's one of the most interesting pieces of real estate in Los Angeles. Before we get to that, how was it coming as Kendra that lived in the Playboy mansion to Kendra as a real estate agent? How was it worrying for you? Are people going to take me seriously? Are people going to want to work with me? Are people going to think this is just a 5-minute thing? How was it transitioning as Kendra living at the Playboy mansion to Kendra, the single mom of 2 that wants to build this incredible real estate career?
Yeah.
Hard.
Your questions are awesome.
Okay, good.
Like,
it just came to my mind.
I mean, thank you so much for that. It was so hard. It
Right.
is still hard, but I'm better now.
Harder than you had thought it would be? As hard?
I thought it was harder than I thought it would be. For sure.
Because what? But like I remember, because I quit school when I was 15. I'll never forget it. And I got into real estate super young, and I always looked young, and I thought, people are never going to take me seriously. I was this terrible kid in London. I was like, no one's going to take me seriously. Then I moved out here, partied my ass off. I was like, who's going to take me seriously?
Yeah.
And I always used to sort of doubt myself. Did people not take you seriously, or did you not take yourself seriously? Like, how did you overcome that leap into believing in yourself?
It's just amazing how you made a name for yourself. It's so awesome.
If you knew me before, you'd really know how awesome.
I mean,
I'm
this
very
part
happy.
of the I mean, I really am so proud to be here today with you.
Oh, you're sweet. Thank you.
So yeah, no, it was like you just said, there's a lot of insecurities that come along with it. Identity is huge. Huge. So I was going through a huge identity crisis, definitely. Like, you see, I have a lot of football player friends who go from football to and they don't know how to there's a lot of, the transition is extremely difficult sometimes, especially when you've been doing something for so long and your mindset is built a certain way. You want something new and you know what you want, but to get there, you have to form new habits. You have to form new thoughts.
Yeah.
Thoughts.
Totally.
It's a thought process.
It is, yeah.
And taking the steps to get there. But when, the show was so amazing, I'm so proud of it, but it definitely put the pressure on, having to do it too fast.
Right.
So I wanted to kill off that identity before quickly, and it created mental health issues, pretty much.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, it's a transition. You have to really breathe through it. You have to understand that, I went through, periods of extreme stress. Like, why aren't people taking me serious? Why am I not taking myself serious? There's a lot of stigmas out there, of course.
Yeah.
And not only that, I would go test myself in large groups and situations, and how do people see me right now? And it was so sad at first. It was so sad. Oh man, I'm like, oh, I'm in real estate. Oh, you're from that Playboy world. Oh, you're that Playboy world. I'm like, oh,
right.
How am I going to do this? How am I going to just become this new identity? So it was pretty stressful, but I think I'm there. It's 100%. A day-by-day process.
But I also think it starts with you. Not to go too deep here, but I think if you believe you're in this career of real estate, if you believe you can be successful, if you believe you have an equal opportunity as everybody else, which you 110% do, then you can be. But if you have the self-doubt that I am this Playboy person, or have that stigma, or lived in a house, or Hugh Hefner, or whatever it might be, if you start doubting yourself, then of course others are going to doubt you.
Right.
It's like people always say to me, who's your biggest competitor? I'm like, me.
Yeah.
It's just me. It's
Right.
me against me, because I want to keep getting better.
It's true.
I want to keep breaking through barriers. I want to keep getting better and being more successful. I don't give a about what they do or they do or they do. I care about how am I doing?
Yeah.
And I think once you believe in yourself and stop worrying about what does everybody else think, then you can start breaking through barriers.
Yeah, it's really exciting. I must say, I tested a lot. I say sometimes, today I'm going to go walk through a mall and see how people, respond to me. How do they see me now? So currently, today, I have more people identifying me as a real estate agent than before. So I'm like,
great.
I'm doing it. It's
Which
really
is
exciting.
great. Which I would only say to that, who cares?
But who cares
you
what
know what I
people
mean?
think,
I'd walk through a mall.
No,
By the
you're
way,
absolutely
someone
right.
sees you, Great. Talk to them about what you do today if they didn't know. Like, it's a great opportunity. But anyhow, moving on.
You're absolutely right.
I really do believe that.
Yeah.
So now I got to talk about the Playboy Mansion, because to me it was one of the most significant sales in Los Angeles. The Playboy Mansion sold for $100 million in 2017. But not many people can say they've lived in that house. What the hell was it like? I don't know, if I'm being completely honest, a ton of your story or how long you lived there.
Have you ever been?
No, I never went when it was on the
Really?
market. No,
Did you go before the market?
No, I should have. I didn't live here. I wish I had. That's definitely what was on my bucket list for sure, but didn't make it, sadly. But like, how long did you live there? What was it like? Like, just share a little if you don't mind.
I'll keep the darkness like for another day.
Perfect. Perfect.
But today,
the lightness.
there was good.
I'm sure.
There was a good side, and I had a lot of fun.
How long were you there, firstly? Sorry.
Oh, I lived at the Playboy Mansion for 5 years.
Wow.
And I didn't realize it until now. I'm in real estate, like where I was living. I'm
yes, it was just the normal at that time, I assume.
I mean, it was normal for me at the time.
Yep.
I had a lot of fun. I was very young.
Yeah. How
and
old
wild.
were you? I don't even know.
I actually moved into the mansion when I was 18.
Wow.
And turned 19 immediately, and then left the mansion at age 23. Got married and had a baby that same year.
Wow.
I was ready to move on.
And there were just tons of parties, and it was just like exactly what I would envision it to be.
Yes, definitely. It was a fun party house to live in.
I don't know if you know this. We actually sold a home on Mapleton, not the Playboy Mansion, that I gather was the Bunny Hutch or something.
It was the Bunny House.
What was that? I know we sold it, and we sold the property next door.
That's right.
We sold two, and they being combined, or I don't know what's going on there. But what was that house? That was
the Bunny House. That was where some of the playmates would fly in, and they would sleep there for like a couple.
Oh, so
weeks,
no one
months.
lived there permanently.
Yeah, so Hef, like he
Hef,
would.
What a legend! Sorry,
he would open. I'm sorry, but like he was really good to people too. Like he opened his door to people that needed a place to live whenever they were moving and stuff like that. So he housed a lot of people like in that house. Yeah.
Wow. So
and I love that house. It was so retro, and
I'm so upset I never saw it. But you've left many years later with, of course, there's dark memories no matter where you are in life or
pros
where
and
you
cons,
live or how
light,
much
darkness.
money you've got.
There's to everything.
But you do have lightness and good memories.
I have positive memories.
That's incredible.
Positive, yeah.
That's incredible.
And I'm just really blessed and grateful for my time.
I mean, you can't ask for more than that. All right, so thank you for telling us that. And now moving back to real estate, which is obviously the key topic here.
I should have started real estate while I was living at the mansion.
I mean, you really should have.
Come on.
You that one up. But that's okay, because here you are.
I was only sitting next to,
everybody?
What's that guy's name that owned the Beverly Hills estate?
Who? That owns the brokerage?
No, never mind.
No, now I want to know. Who were you sitting next to?
Anyways, I was sitting next to everyone.
Correct.
That had homes.
So was it the place to be back in the day? Now, by the way, I could turn this entire segment just asking you questions because I am so curious. But was it the place to be?
It was the place to be.
It was, right? It really was.
And I lived there.
It really...
But it's so funny because when you live there, just like anything, it kind of gets old.
Of course.
And I'm just like, I was ready to get married. Like, I was like, I think I'm ready to get married. I'm still living here, but I kind of want to get married and have kids now.
Yeah, I get it. But then you did, so that's great. And
you get it out of your system.
Beautiful children, 14 and 10, a boy, a girl. One of your boys a 6-foot dude who's an unbelievable basketball player.
Yeah.
So all your dreams did come true.
Yes,
which is
incredible. I'm very grateful.
Which is absolutely incredible. Now, what would you give advice to someone that's starting in the real estate industry? Now that you've been through it, they have some of the same issues you do. They've come from another world, another life, another career. What would be your best advice to those people coming into real estate right now? Which, by the way, it's a tough time in the real estate industry. There's a lot of new rules coming into play. Like, what would be your best advice?
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I was just with a couple, a celebrity real estate agent last night, and she's having issues. There's a lot of people having This is a hard time right now. But anyone entering, they probably should know that, give themselves, time to grow. Just focus on growing and grow. And the painful part means that you're close to success, in your first sale or, whatever it is. So just building relationships and building, honestly, just living life.
Yeah.
Just living your life, enjoying your life, working out, staying on your path. It should naturally just come to you, I think. And that's what's happening right now with me. I've tried to force it right away. I was forcing it down people's throats. And I was like, sell with me.
Yeah. I'm going to beat the shit out of you. Yes, I get it. Yeah, we've been there. We've all been there.
And I lost a lot of friends.
You didn't sell with me. But it is a good lesson, because I think what you're telling me over and over is the more desperate you were for business,
yes,
the harder it was to do business.
I think that's the advice I would give.
And the cooler you became about it, the easier it was. And the more energy you put out, the more energy you attracted. Is kind of what I'm hearing today.
That's exactly right.
So the advice that you're really giving is desperation doesn't sell.
Yes.
And good energy does.
Yes, definitely.
And healthy balance is probably, as we know, the most important thing in this entire industry.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're a parent, especially a single parent, I would imagine healthy balance is probably the most important thing.
Yeah.
Because this business will take over your life. There are no boundaries. It is 24/7. So we, as parents, as human beings, as husbands and wives and friends, have to set those boundaries if we want to be successful.
Yes.
Because if we don't, it just doesn't end.
Yeah.
So I'm hearing a lot, and I love hearing this from you. And I
Yeah,
love hearing
thank
it from
you.
others, because it gives me a reminder as a father of two, I need to set healthy boundaries, because otherwise it will just go and
Swallow
go.
you whole.
Absolutely it will. So I really appreciate it. Now, I hope you don't mind. I want to move to a fun question. But aside from the reality shows, you were also a part of movies and music videos and a lot more. Is there one opportunity or story from those experiences that really sticks out that you want to share with us?
I've just done so many amazing things in my life, so far. I'm 39. I just turned 39 last week.
Happy birthday. I want to talk about that. I hear you're still celebrating.
But there's a lot of life to live still, but I've had an incredible life so far. I've done a couple movies, like you said, and music videos.
Which music videos, by the way? I don't even know. I'd love to know.
I've done Rockstar by Nickelback, and that's the most, I think, a lot of people love that one.
Epic.
For some reason. I think I was I looked cute.
Yep. Excellent. Looking cute's helpful,
like
I guess.
A baseball, like a sports, whatever.
Yeah.
And I also did Eminem's music video, Smack That.
Hold on. You just told us Nickelback over Eminem? Hold on a minute. I love Eminem, and I never saw this video.
Oh, I was like moving and grooving. I thought it was so cool.
I'm sure you were. Hold on a sec. What year was that?
That was like 2005, I think.
Wow, very cool.
I was really cool then.
Don't
really
say
cool.
then. You're still cool now. Just a different cool. Wow. So you were in Eminem's videos.
Again, I should have started real estate back then. What was I thinking?
I'm confused what the hell you were thinking, because that would have been the optimal time to be selling real estate.
God. I would have been like Jade Mills by now.
Yes, absolutely. But look, you've had a ton of memories, a ton of stories. Yeah. You featured in an Eminem music video.
Oh, we did Scary Movie. House Bunny.
Oh, wow. Very
a lot of shows.
Really?
Yeah. So Dancing with the Stars.
You did Dancing with the Stars? How did I not know that?
It was back before like all the social media.
How was that? Was that a fun experience?
It was BC before.
Yeah, but you enjoyed it?
Yeah, it was cool.
You've done tons
Again, I should have started real estate then.
It's okay,
It's like
but
ridiculous.
you started now and you're doing incredible things. And I think, look, you are someone I could just sit here and realize, like, you dwell on the past and you need to focus on the now, the present, the future, and the success that you can be in this industry.
Yeah,
because it doesn't matter that you didn't start then. You're crushing it now. And this is like, I think it's a really exciting time. I could grill you and ask you 500 questions.
I'm in a really good place right now in my life.
All that matters,
like I think that, you know, it's like training, you know, it's training every single day, getting up in the morning, you know, and I heard that before, but I never really like processed it, but it really is real. Like just getting up early and having healthy habits, writing, you know, doing all the, it's so important just to, you know, keep your mental health strong and smile. It's important to smile through it all.
It really is. And in this process of coming up in the real estate industry, are there any mentors, people you've looked up to, that you've followed, that you've learned about, that you've kind of researched, that have been helpful to you coming into the industry?
Oh,
thank you.
My partner, Ernie.
Ernie's a rock star.
Ernie is just amazing. I'm so happy. I'm so happy with him.
Really? I love that because he is a real legend in our industry and an absolute character. Where's he from, by the way?
He is from the South.
Yeah, that's for sure. His accent cracks me up
He's a
every
Southern
time.
gentleman.
He's a legend. So he's been a mentor to you. You're on his team. And would you recommend to someone coming into the industry joining a team? Like, has that been helpful to you?
Yes. And I didn't really know that right off the bat, like what's best for me, you know. I'm like, I had a little ego. I'm like, okay, I'm a celebrity, should I just do it on my own, but I totally recommend joining a team right off the bat. Totally, that's my advice as well. I mean, I'm just so lucky I have Ernie as my mentor and my partner. Just finding someone to work with that's amazing is definitely key too.
It's important. I think people, especially in this market, are going to need to be, should consider being on a team because it's a great place to learn. It's a great place to be able to bounce ideas off, or when you get a listing on Alpine to be able to take somebody with you.
Definitely. I was talking to someone yesterday, someone who's not on a team, and I realized that just by talking with him, it's that much more. I knew then that being on a team is so important.
Right.
You know, getting the guidance, the education, the transaction coordinator, the support. Yep. It's just, you know, it's definitely the way to start, and you know, it's definitely important.
And how's your relationship been with other agents in our business? Like, are you building relationships with other agents?
Yeah.
Because I feel that is a very important piece of our industry. We talk about it quite a lot. It's the clients are important, but the agents are so important.
Definitely.
Because you're going to need those people in deals and negotiations and multiple counters. Like, how's your relationship been? Are you working towards meeting other agents and...
Definitely. So right off the bat, my insecurities were pretty shot. Like I had bad insecurities. I was like, everyone, and that was the most important part of it all for me was like, how are other agents going to view me? Like, and so I shut down. Like, so now I'm really proud to say that I have, you know, I've been reaching out, connecting with other agents that I really truly like and admire, and I do watch them. Like Lee Mintz, like I love, you know, we always connect. And
I love that.
Yeah, there's a couple other agents that I really look up to.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I remember when we moved out here and we started calling agents, and we were trying to get into these 20, 30, 40, $50 million houses, and every time it's like, who are you?
Yeah.
Like, who are you? You're a nobody.
Yeah.
I've never heard of you. I don't know. Who are these idiots? And it was hard. Like, but again, you have to believe in yourself. You have to have a backup with it, and you have to go for it. And now you're building a brand and you're building a name. And I will tell you, I have a tremendous amount of respect for you.
Thank you. I connected with Jade Mills as well a couple times. She's love her.
Sweetheart.
Love her. And Joyce Ray.
Her name keeps coming up
and
in
Joyce
our podcast.
Ray.
Both of them, rock
she's
stars.
Such a badass. So right when I started real estate, I was, you know, how do you say it? My eyes were bigger than my stomach. Like I thought I was like a billionaire overnight.
Yeah, it happens.
I really believed.
Hopefully you didn't spend it.
Well,
Yes.
I didn't. But right off the bat, I saw a house, like my really good friend who owns this mansion in Beverly Hills. I'm like, oh my God, this is totally mine. And I researched it. I'm like, who's Joyce Ray?
Yes. Yep.
And I'm like, oh my God, she's so cool. So I started researching her.
She
and
is cool.
We went out to lunch and it was just so fun.
She is very cool, I have to say. But I do think that people coming into the industry, they think because they have a relationship with someone that they're going to get that property. And the reality is that has to be earned, right?
Yes,
because there's so much money being paid out, and there has to be respect earned in that industry. And I think now that you're really sticking with it, you will be humbled.
You will be humbled.
Because people are loyal until it comes to their bank account where they have to be selfish.
Yeah.
They have to be selfish in the fact that they have to hire the right people and they have to do what they think's right for them, because a real estate transaction is usually one of the most expensive purchases or sales of any human being's life. So it is important.
Just about a few days ago, a friend of mine, I love her to death, but she was like, I gave my listing to someone else. I'm like, okay, well, I wish you luck. And she's like, well, I don't really see you that way. I see you as my friend. And I'm like,
yeah. We've all had those. That happens, unfortunately.
What?
But that's where you bring in your team or somebody else. And by the way, maybe it's not always the same person on your team. You can always collaborate with other agents outside of the team if that particular agent has a track record in that neighborhood.
Definitely.
This business is, to me, a very much collaborative business if you make it one. So I would have said bring somebody in that has an incredible track record, and maybe you could have even co-listed it with that agent.
Totally.
So there's always so many different ways. But anyhow, we have to think about wrapping up. Unfortunately, I could talk to you for hours, by the way. Is there any parting wisdom that you'd like to give to our listeners, or anything you'd like to say?
I think that we just summed it all up. I think we're good.
I think that was an unbelievable conversation. I have loved talking to you.
You too, James.
Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for being here, Kendra. And thank you so much for everybody tuning in, listening or watching on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else that you get your podcasts. Be sure to like, subscribe, and follow for more from Rise Above the Ranks and Estate Media, and leave us a comment with who you'd like to see on future episodes. Jade Mills, we're coming for you. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.